I'm missing Goldie. She's normally here, but... All right, I'm going to call the regular council meeting of March 25th, 2024 to order. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilperson Bradley. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll go ahead and take roll call. Councilperson Bradley? Here. Councilperson Kemfer? Here. Councilperson Ginever? Here. Councilperson Friedmeier? Here. Councilperson Fisher? Here. Councilperson Schomburg? Councilperson Winkleman? Here. Councilperson Massa? All right. Give you a minute to look over the agenda, and then I'll entertain motion to approve the agenda for March 25th. I need a motion to approve the agenda. Just the agenda.
Second.
All right, thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. It's going to be a long old meeting when we do that. All right, Madam Clerk, has the agenda been posted, dated, and signed? Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of February 26, 2024.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on those?
I just got one, it said that I said the Girl Scout house has critting running around the attic holes in the I think I was trying to be like Jed Clampett and said there was critters in the attic, but is that an old man term that nobody understands?
Critting is probably just a typo.
Okay.
We'll fix it to critters.
Okay.
We'll make you...
I just want to make sure I wasn't an old man term. I'll stop using it if nobody understands it.
We'll let you know if you screw up.
Yeah, we'll be fine. All right.
Rick would know. Thanks. That's all I got.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes with that fixed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll also entertain a motion to approve the closed minutes from March 18th, 2024. If you guys have had a moment to look at them in the binders.
No, good. Everybody good with it? So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Public comment, I have none. Check register and bills. If you have a moment to look at those, I'd like to point out our sales tax did very, very well. Use tax, tad bit behind this month on what our projections are, but everything's doing very well on that aspect of it.
Still more than last year, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still more than last year, and you'll look at, I gotta find it here.
$15,000 more year to date.
Yeah, and if you go into the very last one, the sales tax distribution, it was $49,000 above last year's, just monthly. So, it's kind of unexpected, wasn't it, Barb? We did pretty good there, so.
I'll make a motion to approve check register bills, financial report, and sales tax report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on those? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll also entertain a motion to allow the city administrator and finance director to make any necessary budget adjustments for the fiscal year ending in 2023. 2024, sorry. My bad.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Committee reports are in your packet. Fire department's pretty busy. Mr. Turner, we have your information. You have anything to add on that?
I do. So the, temporary emergency connectivation bid on the sixth went well, 0 problems, so we're almost going that in, it was money well spent, so hopefully we never have to use it, but in case we do, we're in good shape.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Mr. Sullivan, we have your report, detailed as always. I appreciate that. The, information for the DNR is over here. Does anybody have any questions on that? Looks like they're making pretty good progress. We only have a couple of red left, so thank you for that. And Chief Helms, you have the podium, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take just a few minutes to recognize a few officers within the police department for some actions that they have taken. We have a lot of good officers doing a lot of good things on a consistent basis, and they worked really hard this year. We've been short-handed quite a bit, and nobody's balked and nobody's balked. They just keep getting the job done, and I appreciate that. Some of them are in the room tonight. First, I would ask that Police Officer Jack Montgomery and Police Dispatchers Brittany Meyer and Tyler Reed come forward. They love this, can't you tell? I'll give you just a quick summary of an incident which these three handled and which was forwarded to my attention in a letter of recognition by the Captain of Police, Mike Bruno. He would have been here tonight if something came up and he could not. On February 28th, 2024, the Crystal City Police Department received a frantic call from someone who believed they had just been frauded out of $12,000. The victim stated she had been contacted by a phone by a male subject who informed her she had criminal charges and could be put in jail. The suspect person stated they could take care of this situation for her if she met a bail bonds lady at the Crystal City Police Department. The victim was informed to bring $12,000 to this location. The victim did in fact meet a female subject at the Crystal City City Hall. After the money had been turned over by the victim began to grow skeptical of the situation and called the Crystal City Police Department. Patrolman Montgomery arrived on scene and immediately recognized the situation to be a fraud scam. Patrolman Montgomery began to investigate the incident with the aid of Dispatcher Meyer and Dispatcher Reed. Sometimes I call them detectives, joking around. Having limited information to go on, which consisted of a suspect vehicle color, model, and the first 3 letters of the license plates, they began to review city video footage and video footage from flock cameras in an effort to identify the suspect vehicle. Through their efforts, they were able to methodically piece together the full license plate, state of origin of the suspect vehicle, and a specific name related to the vehicle. Using this information, they were able to search social media and locate a female suspect that matched the description of the female involved in the crime. So, in police world, that just means you just get going and they all start digging in a lot of different avenues. Patrolman Montgomery contacted and worked with the Department of Homeland Security, who was able to locate the suspect vehicle the following day outside of Lexington, Kentucky. The local agency there was able to take 3 female suspects into custody. A search warrant was served on the vehicle where over $8,000 was located, along with numerous cell phones and software used by the suspects to disguise their voices as males to enable them to commit these types of crimes. Currently, this case has been adopted as a federal crime by the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security has informed us this is a criminal enterprise being ran throughout the Midwest from the state of Georgia. The identification and apprehension of this group is a direct result and quick thinking of efforts put forth by these 3 individuals. I want to recognize them and thank them for a job well done. Sometimes as a chief, there's an old saying, you're the last to know. I knew this was going on. I had bits and pieces of it, but the best part of being chief when you have good people is you just let them do what they do. And lo and behold, here we are working with Homeland Security and broke up a major fraud ring that's being run in the whole Midwest. So, a couple other side notes, the flock cameras, which has been brought up to the city. Jack used these flock cameras, I think there's over 500 in the state, something like that. 541, thank you. 541, I stand corrected, cameras in the state, and I asked him a while ago, I said, where'd you get a couple of hits on this? One was Callaway County, one was Montgomery County in Missouri. So the resources that's out there are tremendous. Right now, we're working on seeing if we can get the money back for this lady, and I guess Tyler liked it so much that he's joined the police academy, as you can see now. So he is actively in the police academy. So I'd just like to thank these three officers and recognize them for a minute and tell them job well done. Like I said, we have a lot of people doing a lot of good things, and there's a lot of incidents that we could bring forward that we don't. It's just policing, you just keep going. But thank you, job well done, and I want to recognize you.
Thank you.
Curtis James, Officer Curtis James. The second thing I'd like to bring to your attention, each year I'm asked by a CIT coordinating council to recognize an officer who has demonstrated the most extraordinary skill and compassion in successfully responding to or following up on an incident involving an individual experiencing a mental health crisis. The officer I select will receive a CIT Officer Award of Excellence at the annual CIT banquet. What is CIT? CIT, or Crisis Intervention Team, is a self-initiated community partnership between local law enforcement, community health services, mental health advocates, and mental health consumers. A CIT officer responds to crisis calls involving mental health and/or substance use emergencies. CIT officers aim to de-escalate, assess, and divert to behavioral health services and support when appropriate. Our department handles many CIT-related incidents during the year. Most will go unheard of. A side note, I asked our dispatcher right before I came in, I said, can you give me the total number of incidents the police department handled this year? It was 26,606. Incidents that were handled within the police department this year. I remember historically when we went 18, then went 20, went 22, 24. Now it's 26,606. So CIT training consists of 40 hours of training in all right now, but one of our patrol officers has completed this training. It's an area that's been recognized. I think most people see it, that there's a need to address certain situations in a certain way, and it's not always by call Policing 101. You show up, you identify, you evaluate, you place people under arrest. We still do that in certain instances, but we really look for other avenues to help people. This year, I recognize Patrolman Curtis James for this award. Patrolman James has been with our department since 2019. So why is he standing here? On Monday, April 18th, 2023, at approximately 7:55 p.m., the Crystal City Police Department received a 911 call of a disturbance in progress. The caller was frantic and stated her brother had become physical with her, had knives, and was threatening to kill both she and her mother. Multiple Crystal City officers responded to the scene of the incident. Upon arrival, officers could hear intense yelling coming from inside the residence. One of the officers, Patrolman Curtis James, forced entry into the home and was confronted by the subject's mother. The mother was yelling for officers not to hurt her son because he was having a mental health crisis. A few seconds later, The subject's sister came running to the officer stating the suspect had several knives and he might try to kill himself or one of the officers. Patrolman Curtis James then located and began to verbally engage the subject through a closed bedroom door. Patrolman James used his crisis intervention training, which enabled him to talk the subject into opening the door and safely to surrender. Multiple knives were seized by the officers during the incident. Patrolman James continued to use his skills to interview witnesses and found the subject had recently been having suicidal thoughts and had also been struggling with alcohol and drug addiction. Patrolman James both coordinated the subject's safe transport to the hospital and helped the family complete the necessary paperwork to ensure proper mental health treatment could be provided to the subject. From start to finish, Patrolman Curtis James displayed professionalism and compassion to ensure the outcome of a very intense and serious situation was resolved in a positive manner. For that reason, here shortly, we will go to the CIT banquet, and he will be a representative of the City of Crystal City, and he will receive an award. So I want to thank him for his service. I want to thank the other officers that are here. They handle these types of situations day in and day out almost, it seems like now. So I appreciate it, and job well done.
Thank you.
The only other thing I have this evening is, I think it had been brought up on more than one occasion, and I actually kind of thought about this too, and I think it's a good idea. I know time is of essence when you guys meet and do business, and I understand that. I would like to start here in the near future, maybe bringing a couple officers to you, and very briefly, just introducing them to you and just give you a little bit about them, and that way you know who your police department is. So I think it's a good idea. Jason and I talked about it, and you guys mentioned it, yes. So just want you guys to know who we are, be familiar with us, and say it's the best part of Crystal City. We know who we're dealing with, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chief.
Very much.
Thank you, officers. All right, let's move on to council liaison reports. Councilperson Fisher?
I don't have anything at this time.
All righty. Councilperson Schomburg is gone for the park board. The park board, had a meeting. Hickey White is still going where it's supposed to go, and, they have a slide, was delivered last week, so their slide is from, yes, sir.
I know this now, I'm kind of ordered, but I want to thank you guys especially. Mr. James, I've had an instance within my own family where I couldn't get any help from the police officer in another state. And a person, good job. With the other officers, I've had 2 clients who lost $100,000 in life schemes. They got no help whatsoever. And a person, to all of you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. They don't get enough of these. I mean, they're,
Y'all take this for granted. Everybody doesn't perform like these guys. Thank you, Chief. And also, thank you for taking care of that person that, vandalized the home in my block here recently, so.
no, your comments are welcome, Mr. Cherry. Thank you.
People really realize what good service is provided in this town. Because I recognize bad service.
No, we have an excellent police force. No, thank you. All right, Councilperson Winkleman, Sewage Commission, this will be the last meeting for that. We, Mr. Turner, is that correct? Like, that is no more. That is no more. Perfect. Planning and zoning, Councilperson Friedmeier.
I have nothing at this time,
We will have a meeting next month.
next month.
April
4th?
4th.
April 4th, sorry.
No, you're fine. 4/4/24. Levy Commission, Councilperson Kemfer.
I don't have anything, sir.
All righty. Public response, does anyone have anything related to the previous council meeting? All Alrighty. Old business, I have none. New business. I have Mr. Eisenbach.
I got a question.
Okay.
Continuing business, do I gotta be on the agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, okay. I'll talk to my work.
Okay.
My work.
Perfect. Okay. Mr. Eisenbach, you have the floor.
I do not see Mr. Chartrand here. However, they're seeking permission for the Twin City Little League Opening Day Parade on Saturday, April 20th. Police Department usually coordinates that. They go from, I think, Festus Elementary to the Little League field.
Okay. Chief, you have any issues with that? They do it every year, I think. All right, well, thank you. Do they need a motion to approve that, or? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Twin City Little League.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. That takes us on to ordinances and resolutions.
Make a motion to read Bill 1944-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1944-2024 by title only, please?
First reading by title only, an ordinance to appropriate $2,170,697 out of all funds of the City of Crystal City, Missouri to cover the annual budget of all expenditures for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2025.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to approve Bill 1944-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1944-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Yep, yes, sir.
Make a motion to read Bill 1944-2024 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1944-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1944-2024 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance to appropriate $10,170,697 out of all funds of the City of Crystal City, Missouri to cover the annual budget of all expenditures for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2025.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to approve Bill 1944-2024 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1944-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kempfer?
Yes.
Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Friedmeier?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Bill number 1944-2024 now becomes ordinance 1944-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll entertain a motion to read Bill 1945-2024.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1945-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1945-2024 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance establishing rules, regulating salaries, vacations, paid holidays, overtime pay, and other benefits for certain salaried employees within the City of Crystal City, Missouri, repealing any other ordinances and setting the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1945-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1945-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read 1945-2024 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1945-2024? By title only, please. Sorry.
Bill number 1945-2024 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance establishing rules, regulating salaries, vacations, paid holidays, overtime pay, and other benefits for certain salaried employees within the city of Crystal City, Missouri, repealing any other ordinances and setting the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept bill 1945-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1945-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Yes. Councilperson Ginever? Yes. Councilperson Freemeyer?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Bill number 1945-2024 now becomes ordinance 1945-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Make a motion to read bill 1946/2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1946-2024 by title only?
Bill number 1946-2024 on its first reading by title only, 2024 and 2025 union contract, an ordinance establishing rules, regulations, salaries, and hourly rates of pay, emergency pay, and sick leave for certain employees of the city of Crystal City, Missouri, and repealing prior ordinances in which are in direct conflict with this ordinance and any amendments thereto.
Make a motion to accept bill 1946-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1946-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read bill 1946-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1946-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1946-2024 on its second and final reading by title only, 2024-25 union contract, an ordinance establishing rules, regulations, salaries, and hourly rates of pay, emergency pay, and sick leave for certain employees of the city of Crystal City, Missouri, and repealing prior ordinances in which are in direct conflict with this ordinance and any amendments thereto.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept bill 1946-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1946-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I will poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Freemeyer?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Thank you. Bill number 1946-2024 now becomes ordinance 1946-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Thank you, ma'am. I'll entertain a motion to read Bill number 1947-2024 on first reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1947-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1947-2024 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance of the city of Crystal City, Missouri, approving an employment agreement for the purposes of retaining the city administrator and authorizing Mayor Mike Osher to execute on behalf of the city the employment agreement and any other documents necessary therefor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept bill 1947-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1947-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion?
Can I point out a typo in the title of it? Execute is missing an E. It says execute.
Oh,
Thank you. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1947-2024 by title only, please?
2024 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, approving an employment agreement for the purposes of retaining the city administrator and authorizing Mayor Mike Osher to execute on behalf of the city the employment agreement and any other documents necessary therefor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1947-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1947-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley? Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginevra? Councilperson Friedmeier?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher? Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Thank you. Bill number 1947-2024 now becomes ordinance 1947-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Make a motion to read Bill 1948-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1948-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1948-2024 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, dissolving the Festus Crystal City Sewage Commission, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, and establishing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1948-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1948-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read Bill 1948-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1948-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1948-2024 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, dissolving the Festus Crystal City Sewage Commission, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, and establishing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1948-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1948-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley? Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginevra? Councilperson Friedmeier?
Yes.
Councilperson Fisher? Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Bill number 1948-2024 now becomes ordinance 1948-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion to read Bill 1949-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the first reading of Bill 1949-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1949-2024 on its first reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri, to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1949-2024 on its first reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept Bill 1949-2024 on its first reading by title only. Any discussion?
Did you talk about this other one?
Yeah,
So we have to pass this every 2 years. We usually pass it in summer.
Okay.
Shelley got the notice, we're reading ordinances tonight, I threw it on here, we wanted to do it.
it's just our,
It's required by the state.
And it's nothing's changed.
No.
Same thing that we've been doing for
Yep, every 2 years we have to pass it.
yeah, no, it's the same old, just required by the state, same old thing. All right, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Make a motion to read Bill 1949-2024 on its second and final reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, can I have the second and final reading of Bill 1949-2024 by title only, please?
Bill number 1949-2024 on its second and final reading by title only, an ordinance of the City of Crystal City, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials.
Make a motion to accept Bill 1949-2024 on second and final reading by title only.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve Bill 1949-2024 on its second and final reading by title only. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. I'll poll the council. Councilperson Bradley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kemfer? Councilperson Ginever? Councilperson Friedmeier? Councilperson Fisher?
Yes.
Councilperson Winkleman?
Yes.
Bill number 1949-2024 now becomes ordinance 1949-2024. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that should have got us done with our ordinances. You have Jason's report in front of you. Let me double check and see where, make sure that's where I'm at. Yep. You guys have any questions on the city administrator's report for Mr. Eisenbeis?
On the annex building, Jason, so that is wrapping up, that remodel?
Yeah, they have, the painter's gotta come back and do the final coat. IT company's gotta come and do their stuff. I'm gonna put some tile backsplash up when I get the 3 minutes, but for the most part, we're waiting on our permit.
Mhm.
So I think that'll be here any time. So I'm thinking the next week or two we'll have to move over there.
Moving going on?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be on there?
No, it's right across the...
Me and Paul, okay. Turned out really good.
Yeah, it does. I've been taking my class.
They're bringing this class down, I think the.
My home maintenance class, we walk in there, we started when there were studs, and now it's finished, and it looks, it turned out really nice. I think it'll be good. I will attest, the girls are loud.
Yeah, I mean, they're not denying it.
No, they didn't say no. All right, moving on, is that all? Anybody have any other questions for Mr. Eisenman?
Back twice when you get done?
We'll be redoing it. No. No. All right, mayor's report, I don't really have anything. The city's heading in a great direction on our budget. It's a really good budget, I think. It looks good. Our sales tax number, I mean, the city is in a really, really good spot right now, and I'm just excited to be part of it. So, it's pretty much all I have. Springtime's here. My mayor's message will be going out next week in the water bill. So, that message will be coming out, and then I plan on doing a midterm thing, like 2 years in as mayor, I'll send out what we've done in 2 years, just to do a little open communication thing, what all we've done. So that'll be coming out, should be before summertime. So that's all I have. Let me go to roundtable. Councilperson Bradley. Councilperson Kemfer. Councilperson Ginever.
I'd like to bring up the possibility of changing the public response. I remember when we enacted this, and it was back when this room was full of people for months and months because there was some controversial things going on. And what I'm talking about is that we have to have somebody tell the city hall that they're going to present to the council, I think, by Thursday of the previous week or something like that. Would it be possible to let anybody speak about anything as long as we limit the time to 2 minutes? I think it's up to the mayor to make the agenda, right?
It is, our agenda's set by ordinance, actually. Our agenda's set by an ordinance. We'd have to redo that ordinance.
But we could allow public comments without having to register in advance.
Well, I'm just wondering who makes that decision. Yeah, is it the council's
The
decision?
council can change how they want to do things. The reason we have it on Thursday by noon, you'd be surprised the number of people we cut off from coming here. Not that they can't come here, but it's something they want to come here that we can, one of us can usually address, and they have to give it to the chief or Robert. We can answer their questions. Plus, it gives us a little bit of time to do the research. Because if somebody comes here, more than likely I'm going to have to say, let me look into it when we get back. We can have some discussion, I'm not discouraging them from talking. But a lot of what we have to get into, then we'll have to do a little research. If you wanna change it, I don't have any problem. But that's kind of the reason that I think we set that Thursday at noon, so we can do some research, or maybe stop them from, if they don't need to come. A lot of people don't, they want their answer, they don't wanna come here on Monday night. It's more than like 9 out of 10.
Well,
So
yeah.
it doesn't matter to me, that was some of the reasons behind that, so.
Well, I recall prior to that, though, that you could pretty much do like Ms. McKinney wanted to do tonight. Well, you know, I was
We
wondering...
can rearrange our...
I was wondering if I could recognize her with my time to see what she had to say. Is that possible?
No, that's okay. I was
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
I had a question about, because I know that you talked about maybe, you know, in the spring or whatever, getting a shred truck in. Is that still kind of a thought?
The paper shred or like
A shred, you know, where people, residents can bring their stuff in, you know?
Yeah.
I thought I heard you talk about, that's all.
Okay.
Ask about that.
I do remember that.
We're having the shred truck, it was gonna be something that was available to the public.
Yeah, I think it was.
It wasn't,
Yeah,
but
that's all I was saying.
Oh.
there are other resources like that. Banks will occasionally hold them, public.
Yeah, I didn't know if the city and,
I remember us talking about it, but I didn't think it was just for our...
It was just for ours. I mean, if we wanna have a shred day, we can, but that costs.
Right.
So, I mean, I know the hospital has, or used to have
We'll do it, yeah.
something, and then occasionally we get the recycle company that will call us, or not the recycle company, the electronic company.
Yes.
And we've had one here, I'm not sure how successful it was, but.
We can look into going back from the shred truck, moving our public comment to the end of, like, if somebody has something to discuss that we've went through, and then open the floor back up for questions. I know I've talked about a little bit, with a couple people, if we wanna entertain that idea, or just talk about that possibly in the future. I don't have an issue with that, but...
Yeah, personally, I just think it'd be more open and people would be, the less rules, the better, because it takes a lot of guts and probably, being upset to come to a city hall meeting and say something to all the city council members. So, I don't know, that's just my...
Well, I think we're talking two different things. I think if they wanna come speak, I still think they need to sign up and tell us what they're speaking about, and then possibly rearrange our, that's one thing. I like how that is, just so we know, hey, here's what they're talking about. So if we can, you know, if it's something to do with street, I can make sure Mr. Turner has his information all in line, and we can handle that. The second one is just rearranging our agenda to where if someone wants to speak, then I can say, public comment on this meeting on something we discussed. I mean...
Okay. I'd like for it to be more open. I think anybody should be able to come and say whatever they want, but...
Do they have to come down, or can they call in and say, hey, I wanna be put on the...
I think they...
I'll email them the form.
Yeah, they can call and say, hey, I wanna be on there. I mean...
Usually when Shelley gets one, then she gives it to me, I'll call in and see if I can help them, or hand them to the, chief or whoever. And a lot of times, we can resolve the situation, they just don't know how about doing it. So the first thing you want to do is come to a council meeting. Well, if it's about a barking dog, we don't really need to tell you guys about that, we can handle it internally. But however you guys want to handle it.
I don't mind to go. I mean, if, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, if they wanna come speak and they still need to, I would prefer, I mean, we would sign up at the door and say, hey, I wanna speak tonight, so we at least have a list of, hey,
That sounds good, yeah.
it's someone to talk. I mean,
I understand Jack's point of view on it, and I'm all in favor of openness and that, but I also think that Jason's, explanation makes a lot of sense for efficiencies. And I think if we're going to be able to address future issues, that it's probably better if we do it the way we're doing it now. Even if we moved it to say, okay, you gotta sign up by Friday, by the end of the day or something, at least we'll have Monday that if there's an answer we can give them prior to the meeting. So I just think that it makes sense
and we don't have
the
a,
way we're doing it.
yeah, I mean, it seems to work from where I'm at. I've never had someone, you know, say, hey, I didn't have a chance to talk. We normally, like I said, we normally fix a problem before it comes to council, but I mean, it's however.
That's kinda where I was coming from, yeah. And with Mr.
Okay.
Bradley, just do both ways.
All right,
'Cause
well,
I don't know, I think it kinda postpones
I
it.
agree with Jack being a little more open, but also don't wanna come in here on a Monday night and get blindsided either.
and just making sure that we have the personnel here that can answer their questions, 'cause, you know, coming up to Mr. Eisenweiss's point, they could come up and say, hey, my trash can's got dented in, and, you know, instead of us just looking at Daniel and say, hey, you know, doing both, Jason will look into that. Can you look into that? And see what it takes, 'cause I know our agenda's set by an ordinance. We might have to, you know, change that around for public comment at the end, but, my gosh, you're a lot of work.
I know.
You are, goodness. No, it's fine. I like it.
Trying to get rid of some.
It's a good discussion.
And shredding it, you know, and I thought, well, if you're gonna have a truck up here, you know,
Absolutely.
if it costs money, then don't, you know.
Mr.
People actually come to you and decide, no, I don't wanna go to council because they just don't wanna come talk to us.
Well, a lot of times it's just simple stuff that, not that they don't need to come to you guys, but they don't need to come tell you their neighbor's dog barking.
Right.
Internally, and they don't really want to, they just don't know where to go, you know?
Right.
Come talk to the council.
And it's like a ditch being cleaned out. So like, I get calls on this, instead of them coming, they call us, and then I'll just,
And we always make sure they know they're welcome to come, but when we put you with Robert, you know, whoever, we'll take care of it, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes they still want to come, sometimes they don't.
well, we'll check into that ordinance to where, I don't mind people speaking. I encourage it, actually, just at the end of the meeting.
So we have a room full of people that we don't want to hear. We're gonna slide it when they don't want to hear, and then all I can do is just take the bullets, I guess, so I can.
Well, that's when I would say, Jason, everything goes right to, come stand in front and take them. All right, moving
I
on.
don't know, I got a couple other things, sorry.
Okay.
Airport Road, in your report, it says Phase 1 has got to start. I had the thought of Crown Plastics, and they definitely need to hook up to a sewage system.
They've
So-
already had discussions with Jefferson County Public Works.
And is that gonna be part of Phase 1? So we're not gonna like put a road in and then tear it up because they need to put a sewer in?
So, on the, I think, south side of Airport Road, and then they'll have to, it'll go under the tracks and cut across that way. So it's not gonna go down the middle of the road.
Okay. Go down to the tracks. I thought the tracks were east of Crown Plastic. No, they are.
They're gonna run down that,
West.
towards the runway,
The
basically.
last that I've seen, the plans have the sewage line running along parallel to the railroad tracks. So I haven't been part of the discussion with the railroad, I don't know if that's still what's going.
Okay.
Should have started that 3 years ago if it was, but that's the last I see. So, part of the whole plan, I guess, is to get, they have to be brought onto our sewer. So they've had contacts, party knows, the engineers know.
So, Crown Plastic's in sync with everything, right? They know what's going on? Okay. That's good. And I just wanted to say something about the Girl Scout house. So, we had some mysterious stuff flowing down the ceiling and the walls. Did we get the results back from that yet?
No, he took it up there Friday.
Okay.
Friday, I'd say, sometime this week.
Yeah, we still don't know what it is, but it might be nasty. Well, it is nasty, but we don't know what it is that's nasty, but I appreciate, John Ramey that came in and did all that work too. He did a good job. That's all I got. Sorry.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Freemeyer?
Yes, what's the status of the dog that bit like 5 different people? Is he still returned back to the owner?
Actually, there's 2 dogs that were involved in that incident. We have those in our custody at Animal Control right now with, thanks for the police department for helping us, obtain those 2 animals. Both of them or actually one of them is set for a court case this week, here in municipal court. And then we're looking at, having a hearing at that same court time about, them being declared dangerous animals. And ordinance sets a whole process for that when that determination is made. However, because of the number of bite cases, that will be forwarded to state process and have county court after that.
Okay, but
So
you have him in custody?
Yes, we have them in custody, and they won't be returned to the owners. The owners are allowed to come see them
and interact with them. It helps them calm them down, keep the dogs calm down. It helps with them because they're their dogs and they're their family, so.
The reason I brought it up was about a week ago, 4 or 5 days ago, there was a dog that looked just like the one across the street that come through I got it on, my Ring camera coming across. Boy, I hope that dog wasn't returned.
No, no. Yes, it's a different dog. We've had a report that there is a similar black dog. In fact, that dog has been tried to be returned, that specific dog, I think, has been tried to be returned to those folks, thinking it was the same animal as well, and it's not, so. Yep.
Same owner, both dogs are different?
Same owners. Yep. Yep.
I just wanna make seeing all the police officers out there in the audience, every time I looked up, it just made me smile, because I am so proud of that department.
Absolutely.
And what they do. Thanks for bringing them there, thanks for bringing them up. Like to meet them all, like you were talking about, that'd be a neat, I think, for everybody here, and from the other departments too, meet some of the city personnel that way would be a great thing. And then the utility bill transition, so with the sewage bill, I know it was highlighted on the bill, and still I have questions of whether, are we gonna have to pay that deposit, and I know we keep saying, I just wondered how hectic it's been at City Hall with people worrying about that, and.
We call every day.
But it hasn't been very terrible. I mean, we
Not really, I mean.
get your one or two
Once
times.
you cover, they don't have to pay $100, they're pretty happy.
That's been the most.
People are like doing away with the water department, like closing our doors. They just don't read the letter.
I was just wondering how I expected you were putting up the price too much, but dealing with that frequently.
I think it's been it's a transition, but I think it's been going pretty well. I saw the letter that came in. I wish they would have worded that, highlighted the front page of you do not, if you're a current customer, do not have to, but we addressed it last council. It's on Facebook, I'm putting it in the mayor's message, so we've hit it multiple times, so. Is that all, sir?
Yep.
All righty. Treasurer Cherry, you have the floor.
Apologies for the outburst earlier, kind of struck a nerve, both instances, and I want to be sure that everybody realizes that this is not everyday police work, this is above and beyond. My apologies.
No, you did. That was rightly so. Well, all right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries and we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
What?